Have you ever wondered if invisible energy lines crisscrossing the Earth could be real? Welcome to the enigmatic world of ley lines, a concept that has captivated imaginations and sparked debates for centuries. Let's go back to the beginning. The term ley lines was first coined in 1921 by an Englishman named Alfred Watkins. A simple man, a photographer, and a traveler, Watkins was intrigued by the alignment of various ancient sites and landmarks across Britain. He noticed that these ancient sites seemed to be connected by invisible straight lines, forming a sort of unseen grid across the landscape. He dubbed these lines ley lines, and from there a mystery was born. Now, ley lines aren't unique to Britain. In fact, they're believed to span the entire globe, connecting some of the most significant cultural and historical sites known to man. From the pyramids of Egypt to the mystical Stonehenge, from the ancient Mayan ruins to the Great Wall of China, it's said that all these sites are interconnected by these unseen pathways. But what's the significance of these lines? Well, that's where it gets really interesting. In many cultures, ley lines are believed to be spiritual or mystical paths of energy. Some say they are the Earth's energy meridians, similar to those found in the human body in traditional Chinese medicine. Others believe they are paths used by our ancestors for sacred rituals and ceremonies, or even for extraterrestrial navigation. Ley lines have also found their way into popular culture, appearing in novels, films, and even video games. They've become symbols of mystery and spirituality, a connection to our ancient past and a gateway to the unknown. But here's the million-dollar question. Are they real? Do these invisible lines of energy weaving and winding their way around our planet actually exist, or are they just a fascinating product of human imagination, a way for us to feel more connected to our history and to the world around us? So, are these ley lines mere figments of our imagination, or do they really exist? Let's dive in to find out. From ancient cultures to modern spiritualists, ley lines have been a source of fascination and mystery. Imagine unseen lines crisscrossing the globe, connecting ancient monuments, natural wonders, and places of power. This is the concept of ley lines. For centuries, these invisible pathways have been the subject of countless legends and folklore. In China, they're known as dragon lines, believed to be channels of life-giving energy, or qi. In the Celtic tradition, they're called fairy paths, where the mystical creatures are said to travel. In the modern age, these ancient notions have evolved into a belief that ley lines are conduits of a mysterious energy that can influence both the physical and metaphysical realms. Some proponents argue that these lines connect points of paranormal activity. UFO sightings, for instance, are often reported along these supposed lines. Could it be that extraterrestrial beings are using these energy highways for navigation? In addition, there are those who link ley lines to places of heightened spiritual activity. Ancient temples, stone circles, and sacred sites like Stonehenge, the pyramids of Giza, and Machu Picchu are all said to sit on these lines. Some speculate that our ancestors intentionally built these structures along ley lines to harness their energy. There's also a belief that ley lines can influence human consciousness. Proponents of this theory suggest that meditating or performing rituals at these sites can lead to spiritual awakenings or heightened psychic abilities. Beyond the spiritual, some even propose that ley lines have a direct impact on our physical health. They argue that living or spending significant time near these lines can either boost vitality or, conversely, lead to health problems, depending on the nature of the energy flowing through them. However, it's important to note that these beliefs, while captivating, are largely based on personal experiences and anecdotes. They often lack empirical evidence, and many in the scientific community remain skeptical. But for those who have experienced unexplainable phenomena along these lines, the lack of scientific proof does not diminish their conviction. It's clear that ley lines, whether real or imagined, hold a powerful place in our collective consciousness. They encapsulate our longing to uncover the hidden mysteries of our world, to connect with something greater than ourselves, and to find patterns and meaning in the seemingly random. While these beliefs are intriguing, the question remains, is there any scientific basis for the existence of ley lines? As we delve deeper into this enigma, we'll examine the arguments from skeptics and the scientific community. Stay tuned as we continue our exploration into the captivating mystery that is ley lines. Not everyone is convinced by the mystical allure of ley lines. Skeptics argue that the lines are nothing more than a product of our pattern-seeking human minds. Indeed, the skeptic's view is a compelling one. They assert that there's simply no solid scientific evidence supporting the existence of ley lines. The concept of these invisible, energy-laden lines crisscrossing the Earth, connecting ancient sites, sounds enticing, but where's the proof? They argue that without empirical evidence, the ley lines theory remains firmly in the realm of folklore and pseudoscience. Now let's delve into some of the psychological phenomena that skeptics believe may contribute to the belief in ley lines. First up is confirmation bias. This is our tendency to seek out and interpret information in a way that confirms our pre-existing beliefs or theories. If you believe in ley lines, you're more likely to spot patterns that support this belief, overlooking those that don't. Next, we face the clustering illusion, which is our inclination to see patterns in random data. The human mind is wired to seek out order and meaning even when none exist. So if you throw a handful of pebbles onto the ground, your brain might perceive a pattern or a line among them, even though it was a completely random act. The skeptics also point to the fact that many alleged ley lines can be explained by simple geography. Ancient civilizations often built their settlements near rivers or along paths that offered the easiest navigation. Over time, these paths between settlements might appear as straight lines, but that's geography, not mysticism. However, skeptics are not opposed to the idea of ley lines outright. They're simply asking for more rigorous scientific investigation. They want to see tangible, reproducible evidence. Until such evidence is presented, they maintain a healthy dose of skepticism. But what if science could offer a different perspective on ley lines? Stay tuned as we delve into the scientific investigation in the next scene. Science has a knack for demystifying the mystical. Could it do the same for ley lines? In the realm of science, empirical evidence is king. To understand the scientific perspective on ley lines, we must delve into the world of geology, physics, and the scientific method. The question is not whether ley lines exist, they undeniably do as lines drawn on a map, but whether they have any physical or electromagnetic properties that set them apart. Let's begin with geology. Some suggest that ley lines follow geological fault lines, areas where the Earth's tectonic plates meet and create energy. This is a fascinating theory as these fault lines can create electromagnetic fields. However, when we look closer, we find that the alignment of ley lines with fault lines is inconsistent at best. While some ley lines do coincide with fault lines, many do not. Therefore, this theory, though interesting, doesn't hold up under scrutiny. Then there's the world of physics. Some propose that ley lines could be lines of magnetic force, invisible energy paths that crisscross the Earth. But again, when we apply the scientific method, this theory falls short. Magnetic fields are measurable, and thus far no consistent magnetic anomalies have been detected along ley lines. One of the more intriguing scientific perspectives comes from the field of archaeoastronomy, the study of how ancient civilizations understood and utilized celestial bodies. Some researchers suggest that ley lines could be ancient astronomical markers, aligning with significant celestial events like solstices and equinoxes. Indeed, many ancient sites along ley lines do align with such celestial events. However, whether this is deliberate design or mere coincidence is still a matter of debate. It's also worth noting that many of the experiments conducted in an effort to prove the existence of ley lines have been criticized for their lack of scientific rigor. Small sample sizes, lack of control groups, and confirmation bias are just a few of the issues raised. This doesn't necessarily disprove the existence of ley lines, but it does highlight the need for more rigorous and scientifically sound investigation. Despite these challenges, the scientific investigation of ley lines is far from over. Researchers continue to explore this enigmatic phenomenon, driven by the tantalizing possibility of uncovering new knowledge about our planet and our past. Whether or not they'll find definitive proof of ley lines' unique properties remains to be seen. In the end, while we have yet to find solid scientific evidence supporting the existence of ley lines as more than mere lines on a map, the quest for understanding continues. And who knows, perhaps future advancements in technology and our understanding of the Earth will shed new light on this age-old mystery. While scientific evidence for ley lines is scant, the investigation into their existence continues to intrigue. What do experts in the fields of geology, archaeology, and anthropology have to say about ley lines? In this world of diverse opinions, experts too have their own perspectives on ley lines. Let's delve into their thoughts. Geologists, for instance, often view ley lines with skepticism. They argue that the Earth's surface is so varied and complex that it's almost inevitable for random alignments of significant sites to occur. They also point out that there's no geological evidence to support the existence of these mystical energy paths. On the other hand, some archaeologists are more open to the concept. They recognize that ancient civilizations might have intentionally aligned their structures with the natural landscape in a way that could correspond to ley lines. However, they also emphasize that without concrete archaeological evidence, such as consistent patterns across different cultures and time periods, it's difficult to definitively prove their existence. Anthropologists offer another perspective. They highlight the cultural significance of ley lines, acknowledging that whether or not they physically exist, they hold a deep symbolic value for many people. These lines have been incorporated into folklore, religious practices, and spiritual beliefs around the world. To many, they represent a connection with the earth and the cosmos, linking individuals to the broader universe. And then there are the interdisciplinary scholars who merge these fields, examining ley lines from a holistic perspective. They look at the geological, archaeological, and anthropological aspects, considering how these elements interplay. Some of them argue that ley lines could be a manifestation of our innate desire to find patterns and make sense of our environment. But no matter their stance, all experts agree on one thing: that more research is needed. Ley lines, with their intriguing mix of history, mystery, and spirituality, continue to captivate our curiosity and fuel debates, reminding us of the enduring human quest for knowledge and understanding. As we can see, the existence of ley lines remains a topic of heated debate among experts. So, where does this leave us on our quest to understand ley lines? We've journeyed through the annals of history, where ancient civilizations across the world revered these invisible lines. Many believed that these lines held mystical power, serving as conduits for spiritual energy. These beliefs were as diverse as the cultures that held them, from the dragon paths in Chinese folklore to the spirit paths of the Native Americans. This spiritual perspective, while fascinating, may leave some of us skeptical. We've also navigated the skeptical waters, where critics argue that ley lines are mere figments of our pattern-seeking minds. Skeptics point out that with a vast number of ancient sites worldwide, it's statistically probable that some would align purely by coincidence. They also note the lack of concrete evidence supporting the existence of these lines, suggesting that their perceived power may be a result of confirmation bias or the power of belief rather than any inherent mystical qualities. Our exploration then took a scientific turn, where we examined geological phenomena, magnetic fields, and the Earth's energy grid. Some researchers have proposed that ley lines could be naturally occurring magnetic fields, while others have posited that they could be lines of telluric currents, natural electric currents that flow through the Earth. However, these theories, while intriguing, remain largely unproven and the subject of ongoing research. Finally, we've heard from experts in various fields who provided their unique insights and perspectives on ley lines. While some lent credence to the mystical beliefs, others reinforced the skeptical viewpoint, and yet more proposed scientific explanations. In conclusion, the existence and nature of ley lines remain a topic of debate and exploration. The lines between science, spirituality, and skepticism are as blurred as the ley lines themselves. Whether you believe in the mystical power of ley lines or view them as mere coincidence, one thing is certain: they continue to captivate our curiosity and ignite our imagination. Until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of our world.